James Stafford, SKYLARK, the Calypsonian.
Yeah.
Stafford, big gentleman, from the sister isle of Carriacou. We had Lion, a guy who took the mainland by storm, who has since migrated and, well, I would hate to say, but migrated into Calypso oblivion, at least for now. And of course, we had other names from Carriacou. We have Sugar Patch, we have Black Man, and these guys are good.
We have a little one called Clipper, a young brother of mine.
You call Clipper?
Yeah, he's coming up well too.
You're looking to clip somebody's wings?
He's shining.
Okay. Your experiences in Carriacou as a Calypsonian, before you were really discovered nationally, how was it like?
Well, I tell you, I started singing Calypso in 1977 in Carriacou and in college. And, you know, at that time, Calypso was easy for me. Calypso was like A1. I took advantage of Calypso in Carriacou at those times. The first year I sang in 77, I got King. And in 78, I got King. And it went on up to 1982. I remember in one year, around 1980, I had like 3 King titles in Carriacou, like Father's Day King, you know, Carnival King and Regatta King. You know, it was like easy for me, you know. But in 1983, that was the first time I entered a competition in Grenada. Myself and Lion came from Carriacou. And I was managed to be first runner-up. I came second in that competition. That was on March 13th. It was against guys like Scorpion and Defender and Mantis and those guys in those times. And I could have come very easily if I had realized the challenge I was coming up to. But as I said, I had it easy in Carriacou. But when I launched in Grenada and I start meeting these guys and them, realizing that, you know, I went with the easy spirit. I wasn't prepared for a, you know, for a struggle, a battle. And I went in quite quietly. I was able to come second, which was first runner-up. And from there I realized, well, look, this is it. I got to buckle up. And then, as I said, that was March 13th. And that same year, 83, I stayed in Grenada and sang for Carnival. And I remember that's the first year Jambo came out and we was in a tent together, or Tremors Calypso tent in West Hall. A little short guy coming there and we kicks up for them, you know. Yeah, I mean, it was fun, but as I said, you know, we had rough times. We had rough, I particularly had rough times, because I remember times like I had to be like, leaving Carriacou, jump in the plane to come down to Grenada to practice, and I have to jump back the plane to go back next day. I got a show, I got to jump on the plane to come down, do a show, back up the next day. I got to be running up and down here and there, you know, to get around in Grenada, place to stay, you know. It was, I mean, it wasn't an easy task.
You paid your dues.
Yeah, I hold out, and by 1988, things start getting easy for me. I start, you know, feeling a little more relaxed. And again, under a lot of struggle, a lot of stress. But somehow, a man got to do what he have to do, you know.
Who were some of your early influences when you were in Carriacou in the Calypso business?
Well, I had a brother called Sailor. He in Canada. He sings also for Caribana. He put out the first album this year. And he was really, I mean, he used to sing long before me. And, you know, I took his footsteps. I really followed after him. And he always like, don't give up, try, you know. And my mom, you know, she likes Calypso. She likes the, you know, the niceness in the business, you know. And, you know, Carriacou people on the whole, you know, saw me and Lion as the representative. So they all back us wherever we go. And when Lion flew out, it left me alone, you know. And the task fell on my shoulder alone. And the people stand with me, everybody was like, hey, you know, keep the culture pushing, keep Carriacou on the map, you know. And it was like that, I built my confidence and I said, well, look, I can't give up and I gotta stay. Then Black Man and Sugar Patch is coming up again assisting me, which I appreciate and I wish them all the best. I hope they don't go through the same struggle that I go through, because maybe the back might not be that hard, you know.
But you know that, you know, sometimes one person has to struggle
for the rest.
So the rest, it'd be easier for them, right?
Okay, I understand that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even today when you go back to Carriacou to perform, what's the reaction like?
Yeah, well, I mean, when I go back to Carriacou now, I go back, the people look at me as their representative. You know, I'm well settled in Carriacou as a Calypso, and the people accept me as their representative. It's like politics. I was
just about to ask you if you intend to run for Carriacou, because when you use the word representative, it has political connotations, you know. So I was just about to ask you that.
But I mean, you know, in our situation back home, you know, where you have a 3-island state, Carriacou, Grenada, and Petit Martinique, you know, like, you know, somebody has to represent somebody, you know. They got parishes, St. David like Squeezy. He come like the representative for Maki, you know what I mean? It's like that.
So all these things spur up competition, friendly competition.
You know, it's all these things give you a more drive, because you know what, hey, I got to do something for my people, and I got to do something for my country.
I want to touch on something here. Sometimes the fans of Calypsos, I mean, the fans would always talk about who's better than who, and sometimes in a manner that would, you know, lead one to believe that there is antagonism between the Calypsonians. And sometimes the Calypsonians themselves, they get involved in that kind of a melee, if you want to put it that way. Is it good for the culture?
Well, it's not good at all. You know, that's a very important point you touch on. You see, what happens is everybody is not the same. That's where different ideas come in. Some people like Calypso, soca. Some people like reggae. Some people like the Calypsonian and not Calypso. Some people like the reggae artist and not the reggae. So you have to be careful as a Calypsonian fitting within these lines, else not you could get caught up down the line, which could be dangerous for you as a performer and for the art form. Because some people, they build an argument, especially the most ignorant people, would build an argument just because they like a Calypsonian. You know? So you have to be careful enough to realize whether they're debating on a topic of liking a Calypsonian rather than Calypso, or whether they're talking really about true art form struggle.
And whether or not you should get involved in
such an argument. Yeah.
Yes, because people conjure up these images of fighting between the local Calypsonians. This person doesn't like this one because of this and this. But then again, the Calypsonians, they get together, they tour together, and when you look at them, I tour, I go to Canada with the Calypsonians, we move around the places, and there is that camaraderie. And you look at it from a national perspective. And I say to myself, I think this is what we need.
That's it.
If we want to move forward.
You see, in the Calypso business, I think what we have to look at is encouragement. You know, one thing, competition is very good because it builds you and it gives you a stronger urge to be serious. But at the same time, if you don't handle a competition carefully, it could destroy you and others. And you've got to be careful with competition. And you have to approach a competition with confidence that you're going to do your best, but not with the confidence that you have something there and you're going to take it. You know?
Coming back to SKYLARK, the performer, when you get down to compose, not that I'm sure you don't really designate the time to compose. That you know, things just come to your head and you know it happens. I mean, off the bat. But when an idea comes to you and you have to put it on paper, does that sometimes create a problem?
Well, first of all, I should say, in putting a Calypso together, for me, the first thing that comes into you is the vibes. You know, it comes into you, and at the same time, you try and look for simple lyrics that could fit in. You know, the most simple lyrics that could fit into the vibes that you got. It's like a God gives something, it just comes into you. As I say, whether you're swimming earlier on, or whether you're on the job, on a ladder, on a roof, or somewhere. And, you know, is one thing, either you keep it in your mind and keep repeating it and try to memorize it, Or if sometimes some people has not good memories, they might take a pen the same time or a lead pencil and jot down the most important parts and memorize the vibes that you got. These vibes represent the melody, you know, and the mood of people. You know, you imagine, well, people in a mood to enjoy themselves, and it all depends on you. That's the vibes I'm talking about. And you move from there. So when you have the time, you structure your lyrics to the way you want it. Maybe change up some of the simple lyrics and put in, you know, what you like. But the basics is the vibes that you got. You have to hold on to.
Do you ever compose a calypso and after completing the composition, you look back at it and say, nah?
Too many times. Too many times.
Oh, yeah? Frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, because I mean, it's a level of concentration. Sometimes the amount of concentration that you put out on one calypso, sometimes it leads you down one straight track, and you keep finding more and more and more things to say. But at the same time, you need not, although you need to follow your topic, you need to widen the topic, that, you know, you can bring it out to the world. What I'm saying is, sometimes you might find somebody making a calypso on Trinidad or on Grenada, or relating to what is going on somewhere. But the calypso might be nice there, but when you go out to perform internationally, you have a problem with people understanding what you're relating to. So many times you got to, you know, you might get the vibes. The vibes, as I say, is what's important. It's not what you jot down. You know, but when you get down to the quietness and the peacefulness to put that structure together, then you elaborate and you widen your basics and see what you get out of it.
Is it important for a calypsonian to keep in touch as to what's happening around him? Not only from the party perspective, but from the social perspective as well?
Well, it's important to know everything what's around you as a calypsonian. Because as I said, as Squeezy said, and as a lot of other calypsonians said, as Sparrow said, the calypsonian is the people's spokesman. You know, the politicians respect the calypsonian. The doctor respect the calypsonian. The people, even the last man on the street, respect the calypsonian. And even though they don't respect you when you're on the street, they respect you on the stage. So you got to be an example.
I don't know if you can explain this, but okay, I'm just coming out of secondary school, as we say back in the West Indies. I may have a distinction in English language. I write a great composition, I write great poetry. I decide one day I want to sing calypso. Does that mean I can be a good composer?
Well,
necessarily?
Not must, no. You see, as composing has a lot to do with what is within you. You know, you have to have, to be a calypsonian or a poet, you have to have some kind of interest in it. And to be a writer, you have to have a wide idea of what calypso is all about. Because calypso is not just putting words down or rhyming. It's the structure that is important. And unless you don't have an idea of what calypso is all about, or calypso is not part of you, I don't think that because you're bright you could write a calypso.
Oh yes. So it's like a magical talent,
so to speak,
that you have to put down a calypso.
Yeah.
It's no slapdash.
No, it's not just, you know, wanting to. You got to have that talent in you.
Are you an avid reader?
Yeah.
What do you read?
Well, I read a lot of books. I read newspapers. I read a lot of things.
And it helps you in your composing?
Well, as I should say, to compose a serious calypso or educational calypso, the best way you can do it is from what you read. Because you would not compose the calypso from the book, but the topic is what's important. And a good topic is easy to find in books.
For the young calypsonians coming up, SKYLARK, What advice do you have for them?
Well, for the young Calypsonians coming up, what I would like to tell them, hey, you gotta be serious. You gotta stay away from the drugs. You gotta know what you want to be, and you gotta know it's not just going and pick it up. It's a rough task, it's a struggle. You gotta put up to it, stay away from arguments, and keep the fire burning.
Amidst all the bacchanal on stage, it's still a disciplined art form.
Very disciplined. Unless you're not disciplined, you may sing but you won't make it. I could tell you that.
And we're looking out for you in 1992 SKYLARK.
As strong as ever.
Right.
Stronger than ever.
Keep up that rhythm, keep up that tempo, and keep on representing us very well. When you go out there, North America, and other places, I'm sure you'll be touring as the months go by, leading into Carnival next year.
Next year.
Okay?
Okay,
Thank you for coming on CultureShare. It's a pleasure to have you, man.
Okay, thank you.
Keep the culture high.
Thank
Make your mother happy, right?
Yes, very much.
Okay,
very
great.
Much. She's very proud.
All right.
All right. And to all the folks out there, have a nice day. Enjoy the culture, enjoy soca, enjoy Calypso. Come to Grenada, 92.
And let's keep the culture high. Remember, the culture is always bigger than the man, and support the culture. Harold PYSADEE on CultureShare once again. And Don, it's all yours.